Hey, gang, and I hope you enjoyed the new intro to Watch Along Weekend. Uh, and I'm proud of it. Again, I know there are some people that are not huge fans of AI created, artwork or music. But when you don't have the technical or musical know how, to create music, or you don't have the funds to pay somebody to create music for you, AI is a wonderful tool to be able to use. Now, if you don't like AI, that is perfectly fine. I can totally understand that. Some people don't consider that AI is, a part of the, or shouldn't be part of the creative process. But I've had artists tell me, if you can't afford to, pay somebody to commission some artwork for you, then, AI is kind of like a godsend for you. Other people on the other side of that coin, and I promise I'll get off my soapbox here in a second. Some people believe that it's taking food out of the mouths of quote unquote real artists. But my friend that told me about, Dana, you're using AI because you're not rich. You can't commission this artwork out. So you have to find other tools and other ways of doing this. My friend that told me this was Candace, and Candace is a real artist. So for her to say that to me, it made me feel a lot better about utilizing the tools that AI has at my disposal. So, anyway, get off my soapbox now. So, I hope you guys and gals are enjoying the new theme songs. They're more personalized and have people's names in them. They have my screen name. The Friday Foolish theme now has my name and Candace's name on there. So, anyway, moving on. Um, this upcoming week, we will be having another Dick's Picks, more cannon fodder. Um, on cannon fodder, I will be covering Incoming Freshman, which was I think it appears to be a sex comedy from 1979, and Savage Weekend, which is a horror film, a slasher film, I guess you could call it. And I actually have a Blu-ray of that. Steve's going to have to get me a copy of Incoming Freshman because I couldn't find it anywhere for free to watch. And while I'm thinking of it, I promised to have a link for Nailgun Massacre, which is what we're doing the watch along on tonight. Just give me just 1 second, and I will. Uh, yeah. Hopefully, y'all couldn't hear that. If you could, I apologize. Hey, Candace. So I'm going to put the link to Daily Motion for Nailgun Massacre. That's the only place I could find it for free, folks. Steve has the Blu-ray of it, so that's how I am watching it. And let me go ahead and let you know where I'm queued up to. Now, this movie just kind of goes right into it. It's one of those movies that just doesn't have any stuff at the very, very beginning, just goes right into it. You see a bunch of, I guess it appears, construction guys in a big old group. And soon we're going to see what's going on here. Um, uh, it's going to be one of those where a woman gets attacked. Um, and you're going to, if you're watching along, you're going to see how she's getting attacked. I'm being careful not to use that word that YouTube may not like. Okay. So if you do happen to have the Blu ray, I'm about 9 seconds in. This is not a very long film. It's about an hour and 25 minutes long. If you don't have your own copy, like I said, you can watch it on Daily Motion. However, you're probably going to have some commercials. So if you get a little behind or ahead or whatever of where I am, just say, hey, Dana, can I, have a timestamp, or could you describe what the scene is? Okay. I like to be able to provide y'all something where it doesn't have commercials, but sometimes the only, places I can find it for free are places that, have commercials in them. So if somebody's found another way to watch it, please let me know. So, and before we get started, I know it is Super Bowl weekend. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and I don't watch. I'm not a sports person, so I don't keep up with football, basketball, whatever. I only occasionally watch wrestling if Steve's watching it. We don't watch baseball, we don't watch basketball, we don't watch football, but I know a lot of people do. And so I didn't even think about it whenever I was doing the watch along scheduling. I just work with what works for me. So we may not have a lot of people tonight. I was hoping we would have more, but the more I thought about it, I was like, there's going to be a lot of people watching the Super Bowl, because it seems like almost our whole staff at my job is crazy about football. And as Candace told me, what they like to do, I guess she's not the biggest football fan in the world, but she likes parties and she likes planning for parties. So sometimes it's a way to friends and family to get together and just eat good food and share time together. And sometimes during the um, and excuse me if it's not called halftime show. I thought that's what it was, but I don't know sports. So if it's not a halftime show, okay, I apologize. But they usually have some kind of a singer or a band or something play. Um, so um, that's what I used to watch whenever I was living at home. That's the only part of the Super Bowl I would watch. And some people like to watch the commercials because they usually have some unique commercials. Candace, she said Walmart was absolutely packed today with people scrambling to get Super Bowl food. LOL. We love the commercials. Yeah, I remembered you, Candace, saying that y'all really enjoyed the commercials, and I've heard other people say that as well. So we'll probably go ahead and get started here in about another minute or so. Usually I try to get started soon after 7, because I don't like to drag these things out, with just me rambling on and on about stuff. So the latest I usually like to get started is about a quarter after 7. So if you're not going to be watching the Super Bowl, or if you can divide your time between the Super Bowl and here, I'll be glad to have you guys and gals in here. If not, this will be up for you to watch on the replay. Also, I am piecing together my Soup and Jallo segment. So hopefully I'll be able to get that uploaded to YouTube after this watch along is over. But I'll give it another few seconds and then we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll do the countdown, and we'll get started with Nailgun Massacre. As you can see, this is going to be really fun, folks. I hope they don't get me for that. It wasn't actually showing the whole breast there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the countdown, and we'll get this thing started here. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press play. So momentarily, like I said, this movie opens with a bang because we're seeing that this woman is getting attacked by these terrible, terrible men here. Um, well, I'm guessing I'm not going to have subtitles on this, but the good thing is that I've seen this movie enough times to, I know what's going on and stuff. And some of these don't have subtitles, some of them do. Um, but if you're watching along with me and you've gotten this far into it, you know what's happening to this poor woman here. Like, I always thought the idea of a woman being attacked in this way is horrible anyway. But the thought of, multiple men, like things like I Spit on Your Grave and those other, types of films. Although this one wasn't as explicit about it, um, we're going to say that this is going to be one of those revenge scenarios. But we're not sure, who's doing the or getting the revenge. So we can clearly see that this guy here was one of those terrible construction men that was, doing that terrible thing earlier. And we're seeing that someone in a motorcycle helmet and dressed in camouflage is loading a nail gun. Now, I think it was Steve that told me, and I would have to agree with him, this simply would not work. We're being asked to suspend disbelief here because the nail gun is not plugged into anything. The nail gun it's plugged into what looks like a fire extinguisher on the killer's back. So, yeah, I don't know how that works. But they had to be mobile. They couldn't be plugged into an outlet all the time, or these kind of things wouldn't be able to happen. And this guy's just like a terrible person anyway. He's got really hairy arms too. I don't like that. Well, he's toast. Went right through his hand and probably into his head as well. Now, a nail gun was used very effectively also in a film called Toolbox Murders, which I think is going to be one of the movies that's going to be in an upcoming watch along. She's not being very nice to that child. I don't think it would be a good idea to lift your child by their arm out of a cardboard box. Looked like he just had a headache. And I don't know if she's just running away from the situation, running to get help. I guess it could be either one. And now we're finally getting the titles. So this was one of those long opening sequences. So Terry Lofton and Futuristic Films presents Nailgun Massacre. Pretty, like, plain titles for this, but it's still, it's still effective, I think. Terry Lofton did a lot of the things. He did the story and the screenplay, and he produced it, and he directed it. And well, actually, it was directed by Terry Lofton and Bill Leslie, who Bill Leslie, I think, was also the cinematographer. I'm wondering how many of these names are maybe like pseudonyms. Oh, and by the way, this movie is out on 4K now from TerraVision. So if you're interested in getting it in 4K, that's where you can obtain it. So you're getting your typical amount of nudity for this type of film, because why have they got a stuffed dog between them while they're having sex? I don't know. Well, they finally got rid of it. But this is something that you can't really have one of these films if you don't have your fair amount of nudity and you're seeing that chick's breast. And I don't know. I don't think those are real. I think she's had a boob job done. I think Candace might be the only one hanging out with me right now. I don't know. There was supposed to, somebody came in last night and wanted the link to As Above, So Below. Unfortunately, I didn't have a link for it, but I told them I'd have a link for Nailgun Massacre today. But maybe they got caught up in the football mania. Yeah, she's definitely had a boob job because they just don't move. And obviously, she's been out tanning because the only white parts are the parts that wouldn't have been covered by a bathing suit top. And I want to remind y'all too, if you haven't voted on the upcoming watch alongs and you want to have a say so on which ones I pick, please get your votes in before Monday, February 17th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay. Because I got a lot of votes at the beginning, but now people aren't really voting. So I just want to remind everybody that if you want to get your vote in, if you want to have some kind of say so on what's picked, that's the way to do it right now. So we got, I guess that gasoline's to go in the chainsaw. I was like, we got gasoline and a chainsaw. But do they really need that much gasoline for that chainsaw? I would think not. Smokey the Bear wouldn't be very happy with those dudes because they're liable to, start a forest fire. So we're seeing the camouflaged individual with the nail gun again. And it appears that they're driving a hearse. I don't know where I can't remember if the motorcycle helmet has any kind of significance or not. Oh yeah, that's a good time to go take a pee, dude. Uh-oh. Oh no. Just peed on the killer's leg. That's um Hey, the poet. Actually, me and Candace are gonna do the next Friday Foolish, barring anything happening. This coming Friday. The way this guy dies because he was like taking a pee, and like the killer came and nail gunned him. Like he just fell over and like his pants are part way down. Oh, he got shot in the penis. Um, so he got I think he got nailed three different times, but his pants were part way down and his tidy whities were there. The way some of these people die in this movie. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be laughing, but this is like I said, this thing is just so bad it's good. Um, and I don't think I mentioned this before. It did come out in 1986, so mid 80s, and he ended up, cutting his hand off because he got nail gun too. This evidently this sheriff or whatever, he don't get no hurry. This must be somebody's mother or something. Because when you got these low budget things, you got to put your family and friends in there, right? So to take a break from the movie a little bit, Valentine's Day is Friday. Anybody got any big plans with their significant other or anything? Ooh, somebody's getting spam for Valentine's Day. I guess that guy left his wallet at home. Make the woman pay. That's real nice. I'm not sure how much she gave that woman, but and then did y'all? For those of y'all that are watching, she just looked at the camera and broke the fourth wall. That's what's so great about these movies. Like I personally have fun with them because they're so bad. Also, if we may not have enough people in here that somebody wants to come on here with me to for this lovely movie. But if anybody does, I'll be glad to give you the link. Like I say, the only prerequisite is that you behave on here, and I think everybody knows what I mean by that. So evidently, they're going to have to investigate this now. Ooh, he's got some Lee jeans on there. If you got to die, you got to die with a great pair of pants, right? Especially if you got to die in a bad horror movie. Yeah, I heard that, the poet. Isn't that a shame? Because, like a lot of people been saying, they're probably just going to demolish it and put up a Walmart there. They're not going to care anything about the history behind that place. Is that guy or is he not the definition of cool? He's got a jean jacket, the collar's up. That this was, I guess, this was the epitome of a cool cop or detective back in 1986. Oh, yay. I loved like how they're just having this casual conversation when there's two dead bodies there. Is that the tall man coming? Just kidding. I think the tall man's hearse was black. Uh-oh, dude. First of all, you shouldn't have been hitchhiking. And second of all, you shouldn't flip somebody off just because they act like they're not going to pick you up. Uh-oh. This is a public service announcement telling you not to hitchhike. Ooh, I'm so sorry, gang. I'm going to have to step away for just 1 second. This always happens. I'll be right back. Okay, gang. Sorry. Had to go get me something to eat here. I couldn't quit yawning. Dude, the conversation, people just act like they're, asking about the weather or, what somebody's having for lunch or dinner. Let's just leave that dead body there. I guess they did. I guess they just left it there. Damn, we got dead people all over the place. Oh, that's a hitchhiker. Now, I don't want anybody to think I'm making fun of people from my hometown, but these look about like people, especially the one guy that looks like a truck driver. Looks like people from back home for me. Hey, Tom, you say you never heard of this movie? Well, probably a lot of people haven't heard of this movie. Tom, if you didn't see the link near the top of the screen, um, thank you. Actually, a lot of these thumbnails for the watch alongs come from movie posters and stuff. So, um, but there is a link for Nailgun Massacre on Daily Motion. Um, I think there'll be commercials, but it was the only for free version I could find. Yes, the poet. This movie is extremely, extremely low budget. Are they eating off paper plates? They probably had to. I guarantee you that was probably what they were eating in between shots too, because I'm sure there wasn't any craft services. All I'm saying is I can't wait for the barbecue grill scene. And you'll see what I mean for those of you that are watching along when we get to that. I'm sure Nike didn't sponsor this movie either, but that guy's got a Nike shirt on. Hey, Batman, it's good to see you in here. I hadn't seen you for a while. And that, of course, is the chick that got attacked at the beginning of the film. No, I can imagine, Batman. Oh, you're a tough guy to work there. Seriously. I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it 2 hours at that place. I believe that guy there in the flannel shirt, I believe that guy is supposed to be the woman that got attacked and just was out there yelling at those guys. I believe that's supposed to be her brother, if I'm remembering correctly. Something tells me these yahoos ain't gonna last long either. Batman, you say, I seen a movie ad on Facebook called Birthday Bash. The description said it was like Evil Dead meets Porky's. That's that's an interesting combination. So they couldn't find anybody at home. So it's time to break out the Ritz crackers and whatever they got in this cooler. Probably beer or something, but that was something else I could never understand. I've seen this in a lot of movies. Not necessarily, all low budget movies, but two couples will be, like they were having a picnic or something else, and they just spontaneously start making out in front of the other couple, and then the other couple's like, "What the hell?" We'll just do this too. I would not feel comfortable enough to be doing that. I don't know if this sheriff ever like does a license check because it's got a license plate on it. I think it says Texas on there. I mean, wouldn't that be one of the first things you would do? But then the movie'd be over then, I guess, in 5 minutes. You gotta have these sheriffs that they're not too smart or they're lazy or whatever. I don't know if they had anything in that cooler. I just seen them eating the Ritz crackers. Goodness. I'm still yawning. Oh, I don't know. I'm getting kind of chilly back here, even though I have this heater going. Gotta turn it up a little bit. Well, I guess they got a joint though. They maybe should have spent more money on food and less on pot. Maybe that is a beer can. Why are all these guys so hairy? Jeez, that guy's that guy's just got huge patches of hair like on his upper back, like, but they're sporadic though. It's not like he's got a rug on his back. I don't need to see this chick lick and chew on his ear either. That looks like that would hurt. The way she's biting his ear. Well, and here's the thing, we not only get to see an abundance of female nudity, we get to see male nudity as well. But, I'm sorry, but male ass, that's just not doing it for me. Yes, Evil Dead was very low budget, Tom. You are correct. Batman, you say earlier, I was watching a reaction to Jason Goes to Hell and thought of a killer treat, a heart shaped cake with chocolate lava infused inside. That sounds really good, Batman. I'm actually going to be doing a movie munchies the weekend after uh, Valentine's Day for gory bleeding heart cakes. And that sounds kind of like what you described. I actually discovered Nailgun Massacre before me and Steve were even together, before we were even dating. This was a movie I saw a long time before I ever met Steve. But you know what happens when people, lose their inhibitions, start having sex out in the woods, you know something bad will happen. Uh-oh. He just got I love how I love how the blood is spraying out the back of his head like that. Uh, she's toast too. Oh, I forgot. You can see that guy's penis there. I didn't need to see that either. This is the uncut version too, by the way. I'm not sure if the version, Tom, that you're watching on Daily Motion shows this explicit nudity or not. She's eating the hell out of those Ritz crackers too. It's like, but she's not eating anything with them. No cheese, no meat, nothing like that. Well, he's got a Who shirt on. I'd forgotten about that. Okay, I'm sorry I keep yawning. My blood sugar is surely okay now. Uh-oh. I don't think I'd be hanging around trying to talk civil to that person with the nail gun. But they just like obey, They tell him to, telling this guy to put his hands around the tree, and he had plenty of time. He could have took off running, but again, this movie'd be over in about 5 or 10 minutes or less if they did the sensible thing. So he just let himself be nail gunned. Um, Batman, you say, Dana, did you hear or see the trailer for Hard Eyes, a slasher that goes around killing couples on Valentine's Day? I did see the trailer, Batman, and the trailer made me never want to see that movie ever, or at least not pay my hard earned money to go see it at the theater. If I can watch it for free at home, I might try it out, but otherwise, I'm not going to watch that thing. The glowing eyes I thought was the lamest thing ever. I'm like, what in the hell is this? Well, let's just cry about it, lady. Maybe you should have went with him instead of staying around and eating Ritz crackers. And folks, we're about 45 or getting close to being 45 minutes in. And, I already have a lot of fun with this one, and it's about half over. You know, we got a little less than 45 minutes left. Um, Probably about 40 minutes left. I want to thank those of you that were able to show up for this one, um, because I forgot that it was Super Bowl weekend or Super Bowl Sunday, and there's a whole heck of a lot of people that love um, the Super Bowl. I'm not one of them, but who am I to begrudge somebody watching the Super Bowl? The poet, you say, I'll see the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. There you go. You might do better with that one, the poet. So that's something else. This is like your typical or stereotypical uh, horror movie sheriff. Like they're just driving around aimlessly, eating his breakfast sandwich or whatever the heck he's eating. Or maybe it's a Twinkie or something. I don't know what in the hell he's eating. Um, but again, if they did anything sensible, this movie wouldn't last more than 10 or so minutes. I'm sorry, but you know, you gotta laugh at this stuff because it's just so ridiculous. It looks like somebody's in the sex position underneath that sheet. I would say Batman, probably my favorite release from last year. My all-time favorite release would be Trick or Treat. Um, yeah, definitely that one would have to be, just because, one, we've been waiting for it for so long, but two, I mean, it made good on all of my expectations. In fact, it exceeded my expectations. I don't even know why you need both of these guys. This sheriff that, just like I said, just aimlessly goes around, just driving around town and not really doing anything. And then this detective guy, like, neither one of them's really doing a lot. They're not stopping these killings, that's for sure. Good Lord, that's a lot of extension cables. I'm assuming they're doing work on that house. The heck? Okay, now it, I've forgotten about this scene. We got two guys like playing with nail guns. Like, seriously? Do they know that they could seriously injure each other? What genius thought that was a good idea? I guess these two guys. I think they're very mad there. That's what you get for playing games with real nail gun. Uh oh. If you're able to hear the audio, you're hearing all these one liners, and these one liners ain't real good. In fact, this was put out by Code Red on Blu ray, and they said the voice sounds like Darth Vader spouting the lamest one liners ever committed to film. He got shot in the cheek. I love that. And if you'll notice, people just ease themselves down to the floor. Um, and then the killer waves goodbye and heads on their merry way. That chick looks as bored as all get out, too. Sort of reminds me of Uma Thurman a little bit. Grilled cheese. You could get grilled cheese and fries for $1.19. Wow. You know what? Something like that would cost you nowadays? Probably about $7 or more. I'm thinking this guy is not supposed to be with her. Tommy said there's an unsolved motorcycle helmet murder that took place in the church, the Missy Bivers case. I never heard of that one. It's caught on camera. Ugh. I don't know if I'd want to see that or not. I'm not a big fan of seeing real murders. If they got a reenactment or something, I'm interested in true crime, but I don't want to see a real killing. Oh, not the murder itself. Okay, good. I've watched some stuff in the past that I wish I hadn't, and I've talked about these things that the Bud Dwyer, uh, he actually committed suicide and killed himself on camera while a um, con- conference was going on, like a news conference. And those of you that have seen that footage, it's very, very disturbing. I didn't even know stuff like that existed. Um, it was I think the Bud Dwyer thing is on YouTube as well, Tom. But I I'm not going to recommend it to anybody, but I saw it on one of those. It wasn't Faces of Death, but it was Traces of Death, and I thought that Traces of Death was going to be like Faces of Death, where a lot of the stuff was fake. And nope, you got the real, press conference where Bud Dwyer committed suicide. I mean, that one and the Christine Chubbuck on on camera suicide were the two big ones that I know of. Yeah, there are some strange, cases out there, Tom. You are correct on that. At first, I was like, are they just going to sit in the car? Couples don't just sit in the car, but now it looks like what in the hell is he doing? Are they trying to climb? Oh, no. I was like, are they trying to climb in the back seat? I don't think that's the type of car where you're going to be able to have sex properly. Sorry, dude. He's going to get a cramp or something. There's, there's no way. Won't they just get out there and lay on top of the car? I may have missed the. Y'all let me know for somebody that's been watching along, Tom or somebody. Did I miss the barbecue grill scene? I maybe haven't, but I forgot exactly where the barbecue grill scene was. It must be one of those bras that unhooks from the front. Well, why didn't they do this to begin with? So wasting all that time. Oh, for goodness sakes. I don't know if that thing's not putting out any heat or what. It just feels like it's blowing cold air on me. It's got hot air coming out of it, but golly, I'm freezing. Evidently, all these women didn't tan in the nude, completely nude, because they have panty lines or whatever you want to call it, tan lines, I guess. Oh, Mr. Nail Gun again. Somebody comes and taps that guy on the shoulder. It's like, just a minute, I gotta finish. Now I think that chicks are real. She's after the guy got killed, she just casually got out of the car. Again, plenty of time to run, but she didn't do that, so now she's dead. They look like they're taking a nap. Oh no, I think we're coming up on the barbecue grill scene. This is a scene that's got to be seen to be believed. Who in the heck tosses salad with their hands? That's not sanitary at all. Yeah, this is we're coming up on the big barbecue grill scene. Now watch this, folks. The guy falls on the barbecue grill. He's dead, but he manages to push himself back up off of that fence. Is that not amazing? I don't know how that barbecue grill's holding him up, though, to be honest. Ooh, old computers. It's either a computer or a word processor. Mm, I'm thinking it's a computer. 1986 computers look very different from today's computers. Are you kidding me? They took Polaroids? That's like the cops took Polaroids of dead bodies. Figured they'd have a better camera than that. Those were probably promotional steals or something, where they were testing out the makeup effects. Not sure what kind of phone that is. I'm sorry if any of y'all are noticing me and I look like I'm falling asleep. I just got one of those really sleepy spells. So usually I have them about 5 or 6, not this late at night. But so we got less than 20 minutes left in the film. Um, Again, this is a great film to be a little time waster. Um, you don't take it seriously at all. I think if you take it seriously, you're missing the point because obviously they didn't mean for anybody to take this thing seriously. It's possible that they could, but I really don't think they could, or that they meant for it to be. He's in his muscle shirt. He's dispensed with the jean jacket now. This guy's thinking, did I put on deodorant this morning? He's got to check his armpits. Ah, he's got the jean jacket back on again. He said, something just don't feel right. I got to have my jean jacket back. The only thing bad about this movie is I did not realize there were so many, talky scenes. I don't think we need a lot of these scenes of the detective and the sheriff talking. I mean, this isn't a Tarantino movie. But I guess they had to pad it out with something. Here's another thing, like, I've noticed this with a lot of these really super low budget movies, that they will introduce characters, uh, like with not very long left before the movie is over. It's like, why would you introduce new characters now? Maybe they just need more people to kill off, maybe. And they thought people won't notice. We'll just stick these people in at the 11th hour or whatever. Put new characters in an hour and 13 minutes into the film. I'm assuming a lot of us are going back to work Monday. I'm probably going to be taking me a week's vacation here before long. I think I'm going to take a week whenever Steve does. There's the killer there. Just kind of standing there, checking things out. Uh oh. I forgot what I said that you might have been commenting on Batman where you said not me. Was you talking about going working on Monday? If you're off, I'm glad for you. I'm glad for anybody that gets to be off tomorrow. We'll be coming up in another week. Uh, Not this Monday, but the following Monday will be President's Day. That's a big production day at my work. Is that chick smiling? The chick in the blue shirt looked like she was smiling. What is that screen back there? That made you say, plus, I really want to quit Mickey D's because they just fired my fave coworker over something so small and stupid. I'm just like, F that place. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of jobs are like that. They will fire you for the tiniest little thing. And then sometimes they'll let people that are doing things obviously that are detrimental, and they just let them keep working. Everybody must be wearing Lee jeans in this movie. I don't think Lee jeans sponsored them either. Yeah, we're getting down to the last few minutes of the film. Um, where I think we were led to believe that the killer was the woman that was attacked. Um, but it's looking like maybe it wasn't her. But I think there's going to be a little twist in here. That mean you saying I was thinking, thank God I'm not a manager because they would be taking my best employee away. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, people that work really hard and are dedicated to their job no matter what they're doing are usually the ones that get cracked on. It just makes absolutely no sense. And people that do terrible substandard work um, they get promoted, they get, um, a raise. It's just unthinkable. So we're probably going to see here in a little bit who is actually driving that hearse. I don't know about you guys, but the person that's in that motorcycle helmet and in the camo gear looks a little stockier than the person we saw earlier. That wasn't good. And it's her brother. Now the sheriff gets there. So, I mean, the sheriff gets there like too late to even, help. I think the blood formula they used was pretty good on this movie. I wonder if they used the Dick Smith's patented drug formula or blood formula. That made me say, because that was the main reason that I haven't been on here in a while, because I was actually training to become a manager over at McHale and changed my mind because another manager and I butted heads, and I wouldn't have time for their stupid classes because of my mom's schedule. Uh, so she's taking the motorcycle helmet and she's holding hands with the detective, and they're walking off into the sunset. And gang, that's all she wrote for a Nailgun Massacre. Um, Again, like I said, that's not a super long movie at all. And I want to thank everybody that was able to join me for this tonight. If you didn't get to watch it or didn't get to stay for the whole thing, hey, you can watch it on the replay. There's nothing that says that you have to be in here with me the whole time or at all. You know, that's the beauty of having these things on YouTube, is that, you know, just short of the internet or YouTube blowing up and losing everything, you know, but I of course try to save my stuff anyway, but I'm sure I don't have all of it saved. But anyway, I hope that those of you that got to join me tonight, whether you were just watching or you were actually in the chat, that you enjoyed it. If you got to actually watch Nailgun Massacre along with me. But I'm getting pretty tired, and I gotta do a couple of things before I completely crash for the night. So I gotta, take care of some things for tomorrow and try to get that soup and jello short up. But again, thank you guys and gals. I really, really appreciate your support. Make sure if you want to vote on the upcoming watch alongs for the 22nd and 23rd of February, that you go ahead and get your vote in as soon as you can. That will be on my channel page. There are two different uh, polls, one for the 22nd and one for the 23rd. There are three movies to pick from for each of those. So the voting again will end February 17th. That's a Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you get your vote in before then. And I guess that is all from me. I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Sunday night, folks. Thank you for spending part of it with me tonight. And I'll see everybody next time.